So I'm going to talk to you guys today about this next project that we are going to start working on tomorrow. This project is called the Senior Research Project. I'll shorten it because I'm lazy and call it the SRP from time to time. Traditionally, this is a senior level writing course. So if you are an accelerated student and you are a junior, it's still the same project, but it is called the Senior Research Project. So really, what is this project? The Senior Research Project is my attempt to help prepare you guys for your future field of study. What that means is that you are going to do some research for this project and go through the research and writing process to hopefully think about your future and what you want to do with your life. You'll see here in bold that I said for this project, you will determine your future field of study. And then once you determine your future field of study, you're going to pick a controversial issue within that field. So an example, if I was you and I was having to write this project for my teacher, my future field of study would have been education. And there are lots of controversial topics within education, pre-COVID, during COVID. I would probably say that the biggest controversial topic for me is teacher salary. So that is what your project's going to be all about. I'm going to walk you through now some of the steps for this project so that you can have a better idea of what you're going to be doing. So here are the vague components. First, you're going to pick your topic. Reflect on your strengths, passions. What do you want to do with your life? Perhaps you don't exactly know what field you're going to go into, but maybe right now you really enjoy biology. And so that would be fine then if you said that your future field of study would be something in biology and then pick a controversial issue within that field. So if you don't have a specific idea yet of what you want to do with your life, that's okay. But you want to try to get as specific as possible. Once you figure out your future field, the controversial issues within that field, you might need to research the controversial issues within that field. Like everybody knows teachers have a few specific areas, but if you're an environmental biologist, if that's what you want to do with your life, you might not know some of the controversial issues within that field yet because you're not in that field yet. So you will want to do some research probably about some of the issues that people within that field experience. You'll submit your topic idea to me on Teams. Once you submit your idea, you're stuck with it. So you want to make sure that you're totally sure before you submit. Second is the research process. I will guide you guys through several steps in order to go through the research process in a similar fashion that you would at the collegiate level. So this project is not only getting you guys to think about your future, but it's also doing the kind of research that you'll have to do in college. Whether you take an English class in college, you'll have to do research in science courses, history courses. It doesn't matter what your future holds or what your collegiate aspirations are. Everyone's going to have to do research in college. So this is going to help you with that. Once you go through all the research steps that I'll outline in a moment, then you'll write a research paper for me. Okay, and I'll go over those here in a moment as well. For those of you who would like to have a clear, succinct list of deadlines, here are the deadlines for this project. I have spaced them as far apart as I possibly can, but keeping in mind that we do only have a limited number of weeks left in the semester. I will give you some work periods during class, especially on days where a big deadline is happening. Okay, so topic approval. Like I said, you need to figure out what your future field's going to be, what area you want to go into for your career, and then figure out a controversial issue within that field. I will upload on Teams an assignment where you will need to submit your topic proposal to me. Once you get the go-ahead from me, then you can start working on the next step, which is research journals. Again, once you select your topic and I approve it, you can't change it. I'm not allowing you to change it. I have 85 students and that's too much for me to handle at this point. So once you pick your topic, you're stuck with it. So make sure you do the research first. Research journals. Okay. While you are researching, now you're going to be looking into that controversial topic that you've selected. You're going to research and have 4 sources. 4 sources about that controversial issue that you've selected. And with each of those 4 sources, you will create a research journal. The research journals are an opportunity for you to get all of the information that you're reading on paper. Students said last year that though the research journals at times seemed tedious, they were helpful for getting your ideas together. Figuring out all the stuff that you've researched now, make sense of it and get it on paper. There are 2 deadlines. You have to research 4 sources. So for this project, you will have 4 researched sources, but I'm chunking them for you. I'm doing 2 and 2 so that you're not too overwhelmed. You want to make sure, please, that you are not plagiarizing, that you stick by the honor code policy. The vast majority of this entire project is a collaboration level 0, so you're not going to be working with other people. I will help you by teaching you about these databases. Perhaps right now this is like another language to you. I will help you. Googling is not going to work for this project. You Google in college, your professor very well might laugh at you. So I'm going to teach you guys how to use more academic, collegiate level databases, and that's what you'll use for this project. I will help you with that though, so do not stress. This is a template for the research journals. I don't want you getting creative. I actually want you to copy and paste and take my template and use it. Again, the research journals is an opportunity for you to just word vomit everything that you're learning from your source on paper. And so you'll follow my template where I say type of source. You'll want to use all the italicized information to help answer that question. What is this source arguing? Is it credible? Does it help you understand your topic? So you're going to use my italicized information to really dig deep on each of the 4 sources. Once you finish your 4 research journals, the next step of this process is something called an annotated bibliography. I would bet most of you have not heard of this or done this before, but I would also bet that the vast majority of you will have to do this at least 1 time in college. I had to do this several times in college. So I thought, why not help you guys in high school now where the stakes are quite a bit lower and where I'm going to give you feedback. Your college professors don't give feedback the same way I do. An annotated bibliography is exactly what the name says. It is a bibliography, which is a works cited page, except it includes annotations. Annotations are not quite, by definition, the same thing that you guys do like to your books. An annotation is a summary and an evaluation. So an annotated bibliography, by definition, is a list of sources. You will have 4 that include summary and evaluation. Okay, these are the requirements. I will walk you guys through these in a lot more detail in class, I promise. I will help you through this process, so do not feel anxious about it now. I did just want to outline for you the full project today. And then here's how you do the annotation. So I'm a visual person, and right now some of you might be feeling real confused. Here's a sample annotated bibliography entry. Here's the works cited entry, that's the bibliography part, and these 3 short paragraphs are the annotation part. You will do this 4 times, 1 for each source. The good news is if you do the research journals and follow the requirements for the step before this, the research journals, the annotated bibliography will be quite simple to do. Okay. Next up, once you do all the research, you do the annotated bib, you have a really good understanding of the controversial issue that you are researching, then you are going to create an outline for me. Okay. And again, I don't want you getting creative with this outline, so I'm giving you a template for the outline. Why are we doing an outline before we write the paper? Well, because if you write the paper before outlining your ideas, there's a fairly good chance it's going to be garbage. And so just like with the argumentative essay that you guys just finished for me, I encouraged you to have an outline before you started writing. It's helpful. I'm not doing it to annoy you. I'm doing it because it could help you. And so you're going to follow this outline, and by the end of it, hopefully you have a good skeleton of what your ideas will be. And again, I will talk to you more about each of these steps as they come. From the outline phase, then you're going to hopefully create a first draft of your paper. I've given you lots of bullets. I know some of you are like, oh, all these words to read, but These bullets will help you make sure that your paper is good. And then you will submit your final draft to me. The final draft will be graded, just like every other step in this process. So for those of you who are wondering, you're thinking, are all these going to be summative grades? Most of them will be. Yes, most of them will be summative grades. And these are the summative grades that we will be finishing the semester with. Some of them will be formative grades, but I'm still kind of working out the kinks of that. But the majority of these 6 steps will be summative scores. Okay. If you have any questions about this project, come to class tomorrow with questions. Write them down. Be thinking about this. I will talk to you more in class in depth about some of these steps. I'll answer questions tomorrow, but I did want to outline this project for you now so that you can start to think about it. So bring questions to class tomorrow, and I look forward to starting this giant research project with you guys. Thank you.